everybody. Welcome to our Hearts for Health team Sunday night call. Thank you guys. Sorry, my cat. She missed me while I was gone. It's exciting to see so many people on the call. And we had such a fabulous time at conference. We were in Phoenix, and you know, every conference, I know that we come home and say this, but every conference gets better and better and better. And this really was by far the best conference ever. Would you guys that were there agree?
Yes, I'm here.
Most definitely. I think it was the best conference yet.
Awesome. Well, I really want those of you who were there to just share some of your takeaways and the excitement and the enthusiasm that you came back with. And for the people who weren't able to be there, I want you guys to learn some of what we learned, and more importantly, to catch the energy and the excitement that everybody has who was there. Because we have so many great conferences and, you know, success summits and boot camps and regionals coming up. You don't want to miss any of them. So I would love I know we had two people who this was their very first National Leadership Conference, and that's Lisa and Mo. Would you guys be willing to share just what the experience was like being your first conference? And I think
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
I made a few little cliff notes, and I'm not really good at speaking, but I'm going to try to keep it brief because my voice is really raspy, so I apologize. But so excited to share just hopefully some of the passion and inspiration that I got from the whole experience, which was really life-changing. And I just woke up about an hour ago, so excuse I'm all clean and shiny, but I'm not real bright-eyed. But one of the first things, you know, besides thanking you, Janice and Michelle and Alicia, for being such great leaders and feeling the family effect of being there with the whole world of people and how much everyone loves this product. I mean, we know we love it, but it just reinforces it so much more to see and hear world leaders and people that are experts in all areas and highly educated, Olympic medalists to doctors and just the owner of the company talking about how it's about the people and not really about the product. That was one of the first takeaways I took. But for me, it was about your dream. I guess as I've maybe stepped into what I've learned a lot about the product and how much it helps and all that part of it. But I took away from conference how the business can change your life and how the dreams that you want to make for yourself can really come true. And I almost feel like I'm out of my body saying this because I've never been a goal setter. I've never even really believed enough in myself to you know, say or think the things I think right now as far as what I can make happen to my future. And I'm sorry, but it's just anything's possible. So the first thing I started with was that one of the things I took away is that you're in this forever. Well, you retire into Juice Plus. So like it only gets better and better and better. And it doesn't really matter that you're older. With most jobs, you're waiting to finish so you can just relax but this is all just gets better. So that's the first thing I took away from it. But the integrity and the compassion and all the quality control and things that people put into the company that makes it so awesome is unparalleled. And even though y'all say it and we know it, and I've only been to a few of the professional talks, but it just reinforced so much how much is put into the company to make it such a great company and product and people. And then the Myers, talk was so inspirational, and just being there in living it in living color of being around your team and how your team makes you, you being part of something like that is so life changing. But setting goals, which again, something I've never done, but I'm looking forward to that. Let me just take a little minute to see and I'll wrap up. Got so close to all you guys and also probably gratitude, the power of prayer, being in such a group of people that have such a strong belief in God and feel such gratitude even at the highest levels. Janice and Jay and my names are with the owner and all those people still are humble and still are grateful for being part of it and still, or just act like everyone I met from the highest level just wrapped their arms around me, looked me in the eyes and treated me like my long lost aunt that has never met me and just loved me and scooped me up and made me feel like they had known me for 100 years. So I think believe in your dreams. The future right now of this company, it seems, is like you guys had to work so hard to get to where you are the old-fashioned way by, old-fashioned phone calls and we have so many, modern technologies. So I'm gonna let everybody else talk, but it was life-changing. I'm looking forward to going on to St. Louis, and with everybody promoting. I won't do all that and spend much more time, but it's a very bright future for all of us. So I know you girls are that are new are really already overachievers and gonna be rock stars, and I'm just looking forward to being a part of it. Wonderful team.
Lisa, that was amazing. You started off and you said, I'm not very good at talking in front of a group. I say that was absolutely amazing. You almost made me cry. And you're right. I mean, whatever you want to do with this business, you can do. We all have the power within us to do whatever it is we want to do. There's just a few key things, right? You have to set your intention. You have to believe you can do it, first of all. You have to set your intentions. You have to be teachable. You have to do the activity, but it's doable. That was just amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
And now nobody's going to want to follow you.
Thank you so much, Janet.
I'm serious.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her. You did a great job.
Okay, so Mo, do you want to share what your first time conference, just what the experience of what you got out of it? The experience.
Yeah, so I would say I shared a room with Lisa. That was an experience on its own. I felt like I was at camp, and I can honestly say I didn't think that it was going to be like that. I thought, since we're older and we've been through a lot of things and a lot of different jobs, a lot of different people. I've worked in the professional career for a very, very long time with tons of different personalities. And I can honestly say I was 150% myself this week.
And we love you.
And it felt good. Really, really good. And then also seeing all the beautiful Juice Plus babies. I mean, I have never been in any kind of field where families were so close and there were just so many babies and moms and dads and kids and playing and just the atmosphere that it's all accepted. Wherever we are, we can bring on our family with us. And there are a lot of jobs where you can bring your family, but
this is nothing like that. I mean, when they say you can bring your family, they want all 6, 10, 12, your mom, your aunt. They want you to build a family business. They want your mom there. They want your sister there. They want their kids there. They want you to be in there. You're wearing the same shirts, and hoorah and baton. I mean, it is just so inspirational to see that. And I was just like, I want a baby so I can hold baby here too, because I want to feel like I fit in too. It was just amazing the amount of children and families that were there. I've never seen anything like that. And I did 11 and a half years in the military, and it is a very strong family community in the military, but this is nothing compared to that. Absolutely nothing compared to that. Just the support that you get of you can be and do whatever you want at any level that you want and for your family, and you're inspiring your children and their children and your team members. And it was just amazing to see that. I did not expect that. That was very, very overwhelming for me to see. And in a kind of corporate environment, because you're at a conference, and when you're at conferences, it's very structured, and you have 1 hour, 2 hours, and you're here and you're there. And there was just so much freedom to come and go as you please. And it's a startup company like you would never believe. I mean, it is the ultimate startup company. And the most difficult thing that I found out with any type of startup companies is that you don't have that team. You have to find that team. And that is the hardest thing, are building a team, like-minded people, and surrounding yourself by them and not having to go and find them. You are being swarmed by people that just want to love you and be there for you. Who does that? I feel like I'm at church. I mean, honestly, you don't get that anywhere else. That they just want to be around you and hug you and be there with you and support you and share this incredible mission of health. You know, not our tools that we get, the capsules and the bars and the chewies. Those are just tools, but the mission. And it's just amazing. Our market of healthy living. Who would have thought that you get all these people in the world that want to live a healthy life and share time with their husbands and wife? It's such a diverse and change in the community of men working and women staying at home, and then both husband and wife working and children going to school, and then women working and men staying at home. This is women working and working so hard to provide for your family so your husband can retire. What? When I heard that over and over and over, and I'm like, that is what I've been working for. Me and my husband we're an amazing couple. And I know that my drive is completely different than his. And I just couldn't find my niche. Where was it? What can I do to help my family get to where we want? Because he wants to do photography and he wants to spend time with me. And all I knew is like, okay, we have to have that 9 to 7 job. You know, I have to get my education. I have to go back to school. And I found it. And I can work, and it's not work. I can retire into this company, and I can retire my husband like all the other MMDs. Is that insane? I've never heard that before. And that was a huge takeaway that I can do for my family. And then offering that, giving that opportunity to other people as well, that you can retire your family. You can travel the world. You can do whatever you want. You can sit on your butt at home if you want to, or sit in a coffee shop, and you can spend time, that quality time with each other in this crazy, crazy, over-stressed world. And you can love each other. And it's priceless. It was priceless. The conference was sick. I've never been to anything like it. I thought we were on crack. I swear I partied so hard, and my mind has expanded, and I was tired, and I slept all day. I slept on the airplane on the way back for 2 hours, and then I got home and dropped Diane off, and I slept, and I woke up, I'm like, I have to go back an adult tomorrow because I have, the job, but to go back into adulting. But it was just insane. You can't describe it. You have to go. You have to go.
That's awesome, Monique. And everything you said is right on, absolutely right on. And you can support your family with this. I support my family with this. And I'll just tell you, this may not be as funny coming out as it seems like it will be in my head. But when I first started, that was my dream. I thought, I'm going to retire my husband. He hated his job. He hated it. He hated going to work every day. And I thought, this is perfect. I was able to transform my brain into, we get to design the life that we want. It's not, you have to do this and you have to work at a job you don't like until you're this age and you have this much money saved up. It helped my brain to change. And, years later, it turns out I was able to just sort of like kick my husband out instead of retiring him. Things didn't work out the way I thought they would 10 years ago, but I'm able to be a single mom, because of this business. If it weren't for this business, I would not be a single mom. I would be a miserable married mom that, wouldn't be effective in very much that I was doing. So I'm personally am so grateful to every single one of you on the call, because you contribute to that. So awesome job, Mo. And Michelle, do you want to go next? You've been around a while.
I have.
So
I'm chopping at the bit to go next.
okay.
Only because I will tell you, I roomed with these two ladies. And I'm hoarse mainly from laughing, a little bit from coughing, but mainly from laughing. I laughed so hard. I giggled, and middle of the night laughter. It was just, I haven't had this much fun at a conference, and I couldn't tell you how long. This had to have been the single best conference I had been to yet. And that's a lot, because I've been to several. I don't know how many I've been to, Janice, since 2010. So quite a few. And it really was the best. And I think that it was because they changed the structure of conference. It used to be, we had breakout sessions over here and breakout sessions over there. We spent a lot of time walking, and we spent a lot of time going from one place to the other. But talking with Gloria Cooper, I kind of asked her, I said, what's different about this conference? Why was it so different? And she said, because they really wanted us to spend time with our teams and bond. And they took some pressure off. They put everything in the same room. Everything was in the main hall. For those of you who've been to conference, everything was in the main hall, and there was one event after the other. You can pick and choose if you wanted to go. It was so laid back, and it was just a lot of fun. So, and what I think too was different for me, and what I want to recommend is that I roomed with people. I took my husband the last couple of times. I've been staying with the same people. I kind of room with the same people all the time. And I broke away from that comfort zone. I brought Lisa with me, first time attendee. I spent the time with Diane and Mo, and we bonded. I mean, they're my sisters, sisters from another mother. I mean, I just had such a good time with them. And I probably would have never felt the way I feel today if I hadn't gone with them. So there's an experience all in itself right there. And so the conference was pretty relaxing, and there was a couple of buzzwords that I kept hearing over and over and over again. And I'm going to say family was the biggest one. And Mo and Lisa both stressed this. We are a big family, and you wouldn't know that. How many people were there, Janice? You think 7,000? Mm-hmm. About 7,000 people. And it was like you were home, and everybody was so welcoming and so loving. They all loved on you. I introduced Lisa to Dr. David Phillips, who embraced her and just wrapped his arms around her and, looked her straight in the eye and took a picture with her and, welcomed her to conference and made her feel so good. I introduced her to Gloria. Gloria hugged her, and they hugged for like 5 minutes, and she just welcomed her. And then we met Mitra Ray, and Mitra Ray did the same thing. She was trying to get out the conference door, and she couldn't, but she stopped and took the time to spend with Lisa, and I thought that was great. I just can't stress how much of a family that this company is. You don't see the culture unless you go to conference. I cannot stress that enough. And then if you're going to conference, for me, I go to conference not because I need to learn. I mean, you are going to learn something. We learned a lot about generations, all the generation Ys and X's and all that stuff. It was amazing. That I go because I need to be inspired. I need to hear stories. I need to build that belief in the company again. And that's exactly what happened to me. I heard some great NMD stories, and that's what they were. They were stories, and they were incredible stories about retiring into the business, about retiring their husbands, about their dreams coming true, and about their team. And it was so much building relationships and spending time with your team. We went to the wrap up after it was all over, and our own peak team. I saw huge evidence of this, and I think that the teams that are growing the fastest are the ones that show up to these conferences, and you can't see it until you're there. But Bree Bradford, I don't know if you guys know who she is. She has an incredible team. She has two people one person that NMD, you have to correct me if I'm wrong, Janice, but I think she had one person that NMD last conference, and she had two people this conference in NMD, and half the room at the conference wrap-up was her team. And the momentum and the happiness and the joy and you could just feel the energy in the room. It was so awesome to watch. And the only way that you're going to build that is to build that. You can't describe it, but you can't see it unless you go to conference. So we're probably just going to repeat the same thing. It's all about relationships and family and energy, and it was just an amazing conference. I'm super excited about going to St. Louis. I think everybody needs to mark their calendar now and start making plans. It's going to be a grand time.
It is. And Michelle, you're right. That Bree Burford, her team just has an energy about them that's contagious. I mean, and we're at our regional last September. Bree and Peggy both spoke. So Bree made NMD one conference. Peggy made it the next conference.
Yeah.
And then Danette and Lori were at our regional. They live in San Antonio. So they came and spoke at our regional. They have team from San Antonio. They brought a lot of team members.
A lot.
Went from senior sales coordinator. Lori is direct to Danette, and Danette is direct to Peggy Rivera. They were both senior sales coordinators in Nashville. They had 5 months between Nashville and where were we? Phoenix. And they both went from senior sales coordinator to QNMD to NMD, but in that 5-month period, both of them, one direct under each other. That's incredible. To let you guys know, at the end, I'm going to talk about all the upcoming events we have, but May 14th, we're doing a Super Saturday, and Danette and Lori are both coming to speak. And if you this incredible momentum, if you want to know what they're doing, put May 14th on your calendar. Don't just pencil it in, pen it in, and come to that Super Saturday, because that's where they're going to share with us how they did that. What they do on a daily method or a daily basis to make that happen. So awesome.
Janice, what time is that Super Saturday going to be at? Is it 10 o'clock?
It'll be from 9 to 1.
9 to 1. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So, Elena, I know this was your second conference. Tell us what your takeaways were.
I would say for me, I would agree with Michelle. I felt like this was a lot more better structured, and I think organizationally it helped for it to flow better, and I think you're able to get more out of it. I felt like the content was better. There was a lot more substance in each of the different presentations, and that's something that I personally look for, because I mean it's great to hear the stories and to be inspired, but I'm the kind of person who wants to know, okay, tell me how you did it. I want the nuts and bolts, that type of thing. And I felt like there was a lot more of that. So for me personally, I felt like there was more that I could come home and really just start charting out and implementing. And that, at least for me and for my sort of crazy lifestyle at this point, is really important because as several people mentioned, you have to be very intentional. And we all have the best of intentions, but we don't act on them for the most part. At least, I don't. 2 weeks later, I'll be like, oh, shoot, I forgot to send that birthday card. I thought about it, I just never did it. And so I think just over and over again, what I heard and what I felt like was reiterated was really, intention, pen to paper, structure, and execution. And I think, if you do all those things, good things will come from that. I think the other thing that is very easy, I think for all of us, just because we're human, to fall into is to get discouraged. So you may have a couple of good conversations and then it feels like sort of, you're spending, 40 days out in the desert walking with Jesus and you're like, yeah, this isn't really kind of going anywhere. And so at the wrap up, when the two new NMDs said, they worked for 5 months and had no results, and I know myself, I'd be like at month 3, I'd be like, screw this, it's not happening. So I thought that was just good to hear that persistence ultimately paid off because it blew up in month 6. And had they given up in 5, they wouldn't have reaped the rewards of, all the seeds they'd planted before that. So that's, those are kind of my nuggets.
Awesome. And I will say, I got to room with Elena. And for those of you who don't know Elena lives in Denver. So it's just very, very fun. It was wonderful for me to have that time with you. So, and
yeah, it was, and I have to say, even personally, and for, Mo and Lisa, you guys all live in the same area, so you're going to see each other a little bit more regularly. But, the fun part for me was because, I got to know so many of you in Nashville, was that made the conference that much more fun to me too, because I didn't just feel like an outsider who didn't really know anybody. And not that typically, it doesn't bother me because that's kind of just, part of life and work. I can jump right in, but it made it more fun because now there were connections and now there's even more of those and, more stories and all that kind of thing. So St. Louis will be a lot of fun.
Exactly. Awesome. And Megan, this was your second conference, right?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I really liked this conference. I really don't remember much of my first conference. I remember I was hungry, and I remember that I was fidgety because I was hungry. And I liked the amount of time that we had, the free time. You had enough time to eat. You had enough time to hang out with your team, and I didn't feel rushed, I guess, and that helped a lot. And so it was a lot better than last conference as far as just organization, and you felt like you had time to do things. And I guess some of my takeaways, I had a lot of different little things that I learned from a lot of different people. But there are a couple things that stood out to me. Number one, I spent years in another multi-level marketing business. And the thing that stood out to me the most, I think, about this weekend was I saw National Marketing Directors 100 Club sitting in the audience with their team. And in my other business, once you hit a certain level, they treated you like you were some kind of like superhuman, and you're immediately like whisked away to the green room, and you don't sit with your team, you don't sit with your people, you're in the back. And there are so few people who get there. Like, you'd be rewarded for your work by being able to hang out with your leader's leader for lunch in an afternoon with a group of 20 other people. And this conference, I was like, they're sitting with their team. They're at the top of the level and they're hanging out with like us. So that really, really stood out to me. It's just very different from what I was used to. But a few nuggets. I like during the panel that they had the panel of ladies sitting up there. One of them said something kind of like, she had said something like she got good at what scared her. And I liked that. And so I just jotted down, embrace what scares you and get good at it. And then Brandy Frost said, staying in your comfort zone will rob you of your greatest moments and memories. And I really like that because I used to be a person to stay in my comfort zone, and I didn't want to do anything outside of my comfort zone. And I think that's one thing in my mindset that's really changed coming to this company, is I'm tired of being scared and I want to do what scares me. Not even just in the business, just like in everyday life. I want to like ride roller coasters that scare me. Like I don't want to live in fear. And I really loved Tim Elmore. I really loved his talk. But one of the things he said was, you have to separate the product from the purpose. And that really struck a chord with me because I'm always very careful what I post on social media, because I know so many people just are in your face about their product. And I don't want to be a person who's all about my product, because that is not what stands out to me about this company. We have an amazing product, but we have an amazing community of people who just love you and support you. And every single event we go to is so educational, and we have so many resources, and the company puts so much stuff out there for us to use in the virtual office and things like that. And I'm like, it's not even about the product as much as it is attaching yourself to the community that stands behind the product. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But I think what stood out to me the very most was on Thursday evening hearing Shannon Miller talk. And I have always loved gymnastics, and we had that Olympics recorded on VHS because I did not grow up with a TV, so my aunt and uncle recorded it, and we brought it home to our house, and we borrowed a VHS player, and we watched those girls do their routines over and over and over. So seeing her, I was like, oh my goodness, this is the coolest. But she said, and I love this, it was her last event in her last Olympics, and she was going to retire. And I think it was the vault. And she said, I wanted to stay in the moment. She said, I did it. I stuck the landing. I saluted the judges one last time, and I didn't know my score, but I wanted to live in that moment of when all my hard work came together. And I just thought, I want to have that moment of looking around and being proud of myself. You know, not in an arrogant way, but going, I've helped create some of this. And that just struck a chord in me. I'm like, I want to be that person who creates greatness.
Wow. You guys are all so profound tonight. I'm just blown away. Megan, that was amazing. And that really struck something inside of me too. And one thing she said before she talked about that was that I think the two events right before that vault, she had messed up. Like she had blown. And then she, you know, and it would be, I just think it would be so easy to go, yeah, this whole Olympics is just done, you know, but she went to the vault and she's exactly what you said. You know, it was her last event, and she didn't just throw it away and say, yeah, it's just not my day. She went for it. And one thing that I wrote down that she said is, have a gold medal mindset. So everything you do, have a gold medal mindset. You know, don't go about things halfway. Like either do it or don't. And I loved that. Awesome. Thank you. That was wonderful. Diane, was this your first time to have a team member there? A new team member?
Yes, it was.
And tell us what that's like.
Well, to piggyback on what Mo and Lisa and Michelle said, I had the amazing privilege to share a room with these three. And Lisa wasn't going to come, and I guess she made up her mind like 2 weeks ago, and I knew that she was going to be the life of the party, and she did not disappoint. But if you could even know what went on in that room, if you could even know how many times we peed our pants. Oh my gosh. But the first morning, I just got to tell you, Michelle brought a hot pad and a frying pan, and Lisa got up and made us our coffee and brought the paper to the bed. And Michelle was cooking, and Mo goes, "What is this, HGTV?" We started off laughing, and we never stopped laughing. And we had the best time. And we're going to have these memories for the rest of our life, how the fun we had in that room and what we did. And what I want to say about bringing a team member, yes, it's the very first time I brought a team member. And Lisa was there for the first time, and Paige was there for the first time. And it was just so fun to watch conference through their eyes. It's like taking your kids to Disney World. You've been there, you know what to expect, but bringing them and seeing it through their eyes and having the format be changed. It was so much calmer and not right. Because I said to Mo, there's going to be overlapping workshops. And we're going to have to pick and choose and go to this room and go to that room. And that was all taken away. And I hope, we need to let them know they have to keep it this way, because that was great. That was great. We just stayed in one room and we just got to experience it all, and it wasn't so much rushing around. But so what I encourage you, first of all, this is the things I want to say. I want to say, if this is your business, because it might, we all talk about, we do as little or as much as we want. And I did as little as I wanted to for 2.5 years. And when I finally made up my mind, and Alicia helped me to plan my steps, and I did it, and I did it fast. That's when you do it. Just do it, and do it fast once you make up your mind. And what did it for me was my dear sweet Mo. I prayed for team members. I had lots of team members that were doing nothing. And I prayed every day with Wendy James from, I guess, like October to the end of the year for team. And when did Mo sign up on my team? December 27th. So I prayed for 3 months and nothing. So the point of when Jeanette and Lori said that nothing happened for 5 months, I was in that. I got that, because I was there. I kept planting and planting and planting. Nothing. I was getting very discouraged, and I just wanted to give up many times. But I said, I can't. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can't. So that's what made me keep going. And so pray for your team members. They will come. God will bring them. And boy, when He brings them, woo, watch out. Because you'll get a Mo. And when Megan said about living in the moment, I got to live in the moment this weekend. I brought my little trophy. There's my trophy. Can you see it? I got to walk on the stage, and my flowers that Alicia gave me are right behind me. I didn't realize that. They were going to be right there. And the really cool thing is Michelle taped it all, and all I hear on the video is Mo screaming out my name. So that was my Olympic moment. And that's just the tiny moment of all the many, many moments that's going to come, and all the many moments that are going to come for all of us. But my only thing is you got to make up your mind. And when you make up your mind, you got to do it. Just do it. And a lot of it was God inspired, because he brought the people I needed. And now he's also brought me Dusty and Regina. And they're my next two rock stars. And I know we're going to get the same results with them. And they're excited. Mo's excited about doing this. When Mo talks about our company, she talks from knowledge and wisdom, because she just got her master's in entrepreneurship. She researched many companies before she chose Juice Plus. So there was a lot of criteria that she did as pursuing her master's degree to get her to the point of choosing our company. So that means a lot that she chose our company from an academic and research and intellectual background. That's why she chose our company. So, but I just thought it was an amazing conference. I say get to St. Louis and bring a brand new team member with you that just has fast track to VF, or maybe sales coordinator even by then. I know Mo's plan is sales coordinator by October. I think she's going to hit senior sales coordinator by October. That's where she's going to go. I believe that. So we're going to be walking the stage together as senior sales coordinators. So it was amazing. You just got to get to conference. It was amazing. And they're only getting better and better. So.
Awesome. And I can't wait to watch you both walk across the stage as senior sales coordinators in St. Louis.
Yep.
We have all kinds of big promotions in St. Louis. It's going to be amazing. Right, Michelle?
Most definitely. It's going to be amazing, because I'm going to be an NMD.
That's right.
Yes, I am. And I just want to add one thing. You were talking about Danette and what they said about the 5 months. The key thing there is consistency. They continue to do the activity. They continue to post on their Facebook page when nobody else was posting. They continued to have events when nobody showed up. I mean, they just stayed consistent. They stayed on the course, and they continued to do the work. And she said after 5 months, it was like magic. Things just started rolling in, and it was just like magic. So I just want to make sure that was said.
Awesome. Okay, and Doreen, what were your takeaways? Doreen, you're muted. I'm not sure if you realize. Doreen, we can't hear you. You're muted. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Uh-oh.
Maybe you could text her.
We can't hear you.
Get Boston.
There you are. Now we can hear you. Doreen? Oh, now we can't.
It could be your headsets, Doreen. They might be shorting out. Maybe you should unplug and try just using your computer.
Darn.
Well, I heard her call for technical support. Did you hear? She said, get Boston.
Yeah.
I heard that too.
Yeah. The 12-year-old, he'll fix it. Well, in the meantime, is that you, Doreen? Huh. Is there, That's everyone, right? I haven't left anyone out that's on the call that was at conference. Just want to make sure. Oh, there you are. Talk now. I think we might be able to hear you. Doreen? We can see you.
I think she's frozen.
Might be her Wi-Fi. Darn.
Well, she heard us, so that's what's important, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, can y'all hear me now?
Yay! Yes.
Hey, okay. All right. So I said, I don't think there's really a whole lot more for me to say because you guys have hit so many of the points that I was sitting here looking at my notes. And to be honest, when it comes to like specifics and stuff, I did have Elin with me, so taking notes is kind of limited for myself. So I have a lot of blank pages, but I did get a ton out of with everybody else. The format of it was just, I mean, it was like night and day from the past. I mean, absolutely. They gave us a couple hours lunch break. We were done early every night. I mean, it was just, it really gave us the opportunity to bond. And you didn't feel like you had to gather everybody together and say, okay, where are you going? Where are you going? It was just kind of like, we're all going to be here if you want to come. I mean, you know, we're all going to be here. Just come sit with us. And so it was just, that part of it was amazing because I felt, and Megan and I said this on Saturday, that we didn't feel exhausted. You know, typically after conference, you feel absolutely exhausted. Like we felt like we could go another day and it wasn't like everything was tuned out and there was way too much information by Saturday. And so that was really wonderful. And some of the things that I did write down were, now I have to say though, I am exhausted today though, because our flight was at 5 a.m. But other than that, I feel great. The biggest thing I think that I saw this conference, and I mean, hello, Jay Martin has said it from the very beginning, is finding a buddy. And we all know how important that is and what impact that can have. Those of us that have been in the company, we've had those buddies before. But those people that are talking on stage, Danette and Lori, like all of these teams that we're talking about, all have buddies. And it's like they're working up the ladder at the same pace together. And it's absolutely amazing to watch. You know, the panel that was up there is an entire team of NMDs, and they all, it's like they paired up. There was 6 of them up there, and the 2 that have been there the longest are buddies. Then you've got, you know, Brandy and Jamie who are buddies, you know, and then you've got these a 50 Club member and a new NMD who are just buddies, and you can tell that they're doing this business together, and the same thing is going on in Bree's team. And so it's a very, very powerful piece to this puzzle as we go up and we build this business. And a lot of people talked about the people, you know, Jay Martin said, loving what you do isn't, you know, that's important, but loving who you do it with is even more important. And it's true, because if you're not happy with who you're doing it with, then you're just not going to, you're not going to go anywhere. You're going to get frustrated. And, you know, it's just, it's not going to be a fun journey. And that's what we're looking for. And he also said, he asked the question, which is most important? You know, what is most important? Is it the product? Well, we need the product because we have to have customers, right? What about the business? Is that most important? Well, we need reps to actually get those customers and build our business. But the people is what grows our business. So it's the same kind of thing. It's the people that you work with. It's the people that you find that are the most important in this business. I was just trying to see from my notes what else. Oh, and they talked, Kimberly Warlow talked about, I really liked what she said here. She said, dreaming is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it will atrophy. And it's true. You know, if you're not, we are so, we've lost, depending on, as we learned from Tim Elmore, depending on which generation you're from, is depending on if you can dream or not. And, you know, my generation, it's difficult. You lost that, you know. You lost that ability, whereas the Gen Yers, they have that ability. You know, they see that. And which is really great that there's so many of them in this business, because I feel like they're helping us finding that again. It makes it a lot easier. And then, you know, just going about your life and just collecting friends. There was a couple key points that people said, just kind of things that she had talked about. And one of them was, when she meets people, it doesn't matter who she meets, what they talk about. It doesn't even have to be a juice plus conversation. She friends them on Facebook, hands down. No questions asked. She gets at her phone and says, hey, let me find you on Facebook. People are going to, and I thought about it and I said, that's genius, because it's not like, hey, can I call you sometime, you know, or hey, can I send you this or whatever. So you're not asking for people's number, but people are willing to give you their name and find on Facebook, and you can kind of follow each other. And if you connect again later, great. If not, no big deal. And so she has all of these friends on Facebook because that's her, it's kind of like her contact list, I guess, in a sense. So I thought that was a great thing that she said. And I can't think of anything else specific. But yeah, so there was a lot of incredible things about it. It was really, and I felt for me, because this is now the fourth time I've taken, well, probably fifth time I've taken a baby to something, a big thing, you know, if it be boot camp or whatever, somewhere where I travel. And this was the easiest time that I've had. I didn't feel stressed about it. I didn't feel like I was getting in people's way or I was slowing people down. And so it was.
Uh-oh, I think we lost you, Doreen.
You saying that means a lot. But anyway, so it just seemed so much easier. I mean, the whole thing all around. And it was just, I absolutely loved spending that much time with Megan. We had a blast in our room. But anyway, so yeah, absolutely. Like I said, from the very beginning, when I went to Nashville 4.5 years ago, or whenever it was, I said, I will never miss a conference. Well, until I had Eland, and I'm serious. Like, it's not even a question. It's not even a question for me. It's not a question for my spouse. Like, it's just hands down. We just know when conference comes, it's going to happen. So I highly encourage you guys to put that on your calendar now and just make St. Louis happen.
You're an amazing mom. You made it look so easy. I'm just in awe of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We all have to go to St. Louis because my 50th birthday is the Friday of conference. So,
yeah.
I'll have to make it to the Eltons so we can party at the Eltons.
Can you say party?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm rooming with you.
We can
all
all
have no baby.
We can all wear tutus and party hats and meet you up at the Eltons. Well, and I'll sort of piggyback on what Doreen said, and this is something that's very, very personal to me. I don't like talking about really personal stuff a lot in big groups, but this conference, many of you who know me know that my oldest daughter is a competitive diver, and she's a freshman at Florida State. And when the schedule came out, her swimming and diving schedule, I knew that NC2A Nationals, which is like the creme de la creme, this is the biggest meet she's ever been to in her life, and the biggest meet she will ever go to, besides maybe the Olympic trials, was the weekend of conference. And it was like, are you kidding me? But honestly, I don't want you to think that I'm a bad mom, and you're welcome to think what you think, but to me, there was never a question. I was absolutely 100% always going to conference because, and it was a question of, would she make nationals, and she did. And she dove on Saturday. For those of you who were there, that Saturday morning I need someone's notes from that generation talk, because during that talk, I was on my phone because I could live stream the scores of her meet. So I wasn't paying attention at all to what was going on, but there's no way I would ever miss a conference. And if anything were going to take me away from a conference, it would have been that, I can tell you. But this is my livelihood. This is my career. This is my business. And this is what has allowed me to spend my summers traveling with her, and so that she could get to the level where she got a college scholarship and she was able to qualify for, NC2A nationals. So, I'll just say that I can't imagine. I mean, I will never be pregnant for a conference. I know that. So there's nothing ever that would keep me from a conference. And we all have our own priorities. I don't mean to say that my priorities are anybody else's, but for me, this is my business, and this is my livelihood, and this is my future. And I think it was Diane who said, if this is your business, you need to be at conference, and it's really true. One thing that really hit me yesterday, I had a real heart-to-heart, just kind of come to Jesus talk with Sean Myers yesterday afternoon about my business and where I am. And I've been sort of stuck for a while, and how to move forward and stuff. And one thing that really, really hit me is I am not going to let that go to waste. I mean, if I went to this conference and missed, this biggest event ever in my daughter's life, I'm not going to let that go to waste and not take everything I learned and all that motivation and move forward, because if I came home and just stayed in the same place I was in, I would have totally wasted missing that event for her. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So, one thing that somebody said, and I don't remember who it was, said, build a wall of belief in the product, in our company, in yourself. And the way to do that, every event, every story, every training, everything you go to, every way you touch your business is a brick in that wall. So if you want to build your business faster, you just need to get to everything, And I'll kind of go through a list of what we have coming up. We have some amazing events coming up. These are events for our whole team and for even all of Houston, all of everyone. These are bigger than just our team. But March 31st, Thursday, March 31st, which is a little less than 2 weeks away, we have Dr. Paul Williams coming in town. You guys, I have wanted this and sort of been working on it for like 3 or 4 years now. This is huge. This is not something, he will not be back next year. This is, maybe a once every 4 or 5 year kind of thing. And he's going to do a talk focused on athletes and exercise and fitness. So don't think that somebody has to be a marathon runner for you to invite them to this. If they, go for a walk on Sunday afternoons, that's fitness, that's exercise. If they have children that are in sports, they need to be there and hear what Dr. Williams is going to say. Saturday, April 1st, he's doing the same talk down in League City. It'll be a lunch talk. And then Friday, April 1st. Did I say Saturday? Saturday, April 2nd, we are going to do a potluck training, a distributor training. It's in Tomball. All of these events are on JP Team Houston. And This will be incredible. Dr. Williams is one of the best trainers that I know, and it's going to be great. Then on April 23rd, we're working on putting together a doctor's panel, and it will be, I believe it'll be at the Northampton Clubhouse, Thursday, April 23rd. We're finalizing who the doctors, the medical professionals in the panel will be, but that will be great. There are so many people out there that need to hear this message from a doctor, right? They want to go ask their doctor about it or whatever. We get them here to that doctor's panel so they can hear from these healthcare professionals. Then Saturday, May 14th, which I already mentioned, we have a Super Saturday. We have Danny Martin, Annette Blair, Lori Kendall, and Sarah Eggleston. Sarah is a 39 Club NMD. She's amazing. So this is going to be an incredible event.
Janice, where is that one going to be? This Saturday, do you know?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's at the Hilton Garden Inn at 249 and 1960.
Michelle, did you hear that? Danny Martin?
Yes, Danny.
Did you say Danny Martin?
My heartbeat now. That's my heartbeat.
Yep.
You guys got to go see Danny.
Oh, you have to see him. Absolutely.
Exactly.
He's awesome.
And then June 17th through 19th is the Colorado Boot Camp. So I know we have a lot of people in Colorado and Wyoming, that area. Also for people in Houston, in Texas, you guys, this is an amazing boot camp. Every boot camp is amazing. This is a way to continue to connect with the peak team. So I will absolutely be there. If we'll have a big contingency going there, and then July 15th and 16th is the San Antonio Summit. So those are the big rocks that you want to have on your calendar, and be sure those are on your calendar, and don't let, when something else comes up for that day, look at your calendar first and say, nope, I have this.
So Janice, tell us a little bit about the Colorado Boot Camp. What are the accommodations there, and how does that work?
It is amazing. Stacy, I know you're on the call. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? You're muted. You want me to unmute you?
Oh, I got it. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Colorado Boot Camp for me last year was the first event that I ever attended. So I will just say I walked away with it in awe. It was very well organized. Of course, the Myers put on the entire event, so you know that it's tip-top. It's beautiful there, and we were able to just stay in some condos together, which gave us a lot of...
Where were we?
Weren't we in some condos?
But what city?
Breckenridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, Breckenridge. So you can imagine mountains and just beautiful there. So, like I said, it did spark me into saying also I would probably never miss. I did miss this conference, but it was spring break for us, and I'm still learning the ropes of how to take young children and a husband to that. So I would be anxious to learn how to do that. Because I don't want to miss. But yeah, Breckenridge it was right up there with Nashville for me also, because of it's very inspiring and welcoming, just like Nashville was.
Exactly. And at a boot camp, we typically, at least at the Colorado Boot Camp, we stay in a condo. Our whole team, depending on how many people we have, but we'll get a 3 or 4 bedroom condo, and we can accommodate a lot of people in there. And it's kind of like the house we had in Nashville, where everybody's together. There's a sense of community amongst our team. We have a common living room that we can all kind of kick back and hang out and, laugh and joke around.
Great bonding time. Great bonding time.
Yes, very much so. And it's very, very affordable. The accommodations in the condo make it extremely affordable. So, and then on Sunday, our team usually, every year gets to hang out we come down from Breckenridge to Denver, and we hang out at Sean and Jennifer's house. And it is worth the trip just to see their house and experience it. It's a humongous, like basically a mansion, but it's so comfy. It's not pretentious. You really get to know who Sean and Jennifer are, because it's this amazing house where every speaker stays in their house. I mean, it's big enough. They have a bedroom for all the speakers, but it's cozy and it's comfortable and it's warm and it's inviting. And we just hang out at the pool and swim and have a great time, usually with Sean and Jennifer and the speakers. So whoever the speakers are, we get to hang out with them and chat and ask them questions and really get to know them. So it's amazing.
So what I'm hearing you say is that we're going to have a total blast, and the more people that go, the cheaper the cost. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's start working on that.
What is a boot camp? Is it like a summit? Is it
That's
training?
a good question. A boot camp is a little bit more involved than a summit. So the summit, if you haven't been, is starts Friday afternoon and goes until Saturday late afternoon. A boot camp, the Colorado boot camp, the way it's designed is we go up Thursday during the day. Thursday evening, there's a Prevention Plus talk in Denver. So if you know anyone in or around the Denver area, they can come to the Prevention Plus talk and hear about the product. And then we'll leave. We stay in a hotel Thursday night in Denver. We'll get up early on Friday morning, drive up to Breckenridge. It's like a 2-hour drive. Check into our condo, and then the training starts at 1 o'clock on Friday. There's speakers all afternoon. Friday evening, there's a dinner together. All the meals at a boot camp are together with all of the participants, and your meals are included in the cost of the boot camp. So, and it's always good food. You don't have to worry about, special needs, gluten-free and vegetarian, and they have it covered. So, and you get to sit by, Dr. Du Bois or whoever the speakers are. They're just sitting at tables at the boot camp. You can sit down and just strike up a conversation with them.
It's like conference on a much, much, much smaller scale, like on a magnifying scale.
Right.
You're rubbing elbows with these people that are just down to earth and so friendly and so welcoming and so ready to talk to you and help you, and it's a lot of fun.
It is.
When I first signed up in the business, there was a boot camp, and I remember I didn't go because I thought it was a weekend of exercising. I'm like, that's not for me.
I've always said they should call it retreat, not a boot camp.
I think
Saturday.
Lisa did the same thing.
Saturday
She did this weekend.
From like 9 in the morning. Saturday there's training all day, basically, but we usually stop for lunch. We have time to either hike a little bit or maybe go to the top of the mountain on a gondola, something like that. And then Saturday evening, there's a big party that is as much fun, if not more fun, than the 80s party last night. It's
possible.
Everybody is dancing. Everybody is having a blast. It's a lot of fun.
It sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
It is.
And did you met Dr. Du Bois, the speaker for Thursday night?
He is.
Yeah. That's what's on there. Save the date.
Ah, sweet. I just said
That was a great example. You're right on. Wow.
Awesome. So thank you all. I know we've gone very long, but thank you all so much for being on this call, and for everyone who shared, everyone who came to conference. First of all, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know it's hard to get there. It takes a juggling act a lot of times. One thing I didn't say when I was talking about getting there before, it was my kids' spring break. I sent my daughters to Florida, to my sister's house. They had a blast. But it is a juggling act. It was tough for me to juggle all those plane tickets and figure out, you know, how I could get them on a direct flight and then me flying a few hours after them to make sure I got them on. I mean, it was a juggling act. I will just say that, but it's so worth it. Absolutely worth it. So thank you all to everyone who came to conference, and thank you for sharing. You guys were absolutely amazing. And thank you to everyone else for being on the call. It's so exciting to see so many people on the call. And I want to encourage you every Sunday night. Next Sunday is Easter, so we won't have a call that night. But then after that, we're going to start a kind of a new series of calls. So I want to encourage you, 8:30 on Sunday nights, we will do these, and plug into as many events and as many trainings as you can. So
thank you, Janet. Thank you.
Thanks, Janice.